Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Next Gen Ag, the podcast where we talk about agricultural challenges and how people can work to overcome them. I'm your host, Dominic Valencia, and today we have some very special guests here today. We have two of the Santa Barbara sectional officers here to join us. So if you guys want to introduce yourselves.
Hi, I am Louis Mathis, and I am the Santa Barbara Section Sentinel.
Hello, everyone. My name is Joseph Fonseca, and I am your Santa Barbara sectional historian.
Okay, so getting to know you guys, how did you guys get introduced to the Santa Barbara section officer team, or what really got you guys motivated to apply for it?
I'll go first. Of course, obviously, I got introduced to sectional level activities through my chapter, but I think it was really leadership conferences, and particular like MFEALA and state conference, where I met a ton of people from Santa Maria or Lompoc or all these other people in my section. And once I got to know people better, I was like, man, it'd be cool if I got to be on an officer team with some of these people. So that's kind of what pushed me to apply for sectional office and then go and give my speech and whatnot.
I would say for me, I think it would probably be my advisor. She definitely pushed me to apply because she saw something in me that I didn't see at first. But after getting to know more people at the sectional level, that's when you develop that sense of community, and that really just helped me and motivated me to apply.
Wow. So other than the application process, what was not the most stressful, but what was the most important thing, I guess, on your mind going through the interviews, the speech, what was going through your mind, I guess?
Uh, I was I always try to stay collected, especially when I'm in an interview or giving a speech. Like when you're kind of in that tense situation, everybody's looking at you, like all the focus is on you. Like I don't necessarily focus on getting every word of my speech right. I focus more on how it sounds as I give it. So just staying collected, not panicking, trying not to stutter, just having presence, not showing how nervous I am inside, kind of just feeling uh giving off an aura of confidence.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think for me, it would probably just be yourself because that's really what people want to see in the interview room and out, because when you show who you really are, that's what people remember about you, that's what people like about you. And so as long as you're yourself, honestly, the nerves just go away. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I feel like that's what I've been trying to do this past year because I know my freshman year was nerves. My nerves were high because obviously it's something new. Going in freshman year, it's you don't know what to expect through the FFA organization unless you've done a discovery chapter. But it's my sophomore year. I've definitely pushed myself to at MFE, meet new people, go out on my way to get out of my comfort zone, and I'm also going out of my way to apply for different opportunities. I applied for regional office. Hey, I didn't get slated, but that's okay. It's still a new experience. I applied for the state conference talent show. So I'm going out of my comfort zone to get these new opportunities, and I feel like that's what members should prioritize in their journey through the FFA.
Yeah, Joseph made an excellent point there with being yourself. The FFA, I think one of the best parts about it is, and it's an outlet to be yourself. The people who are the most successful in FFA are often the people that are the most authentic. Those who aren't necessarily necessarily going up there and trying to fake who they are, but just bringing your personality on stage with you. That's Joseph made an excellent point, and it's something that every FFA member should strive to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the authenticity part is like it's like a key point in being a good leader because I know going to regional officer meeting, seeing all the officer candidates speeches, they all talked about authenticity because I feel like a good leader needs to be able to be comfortable with themselves, but also show their organizational members that not only they're comfortable with themselves, but be able for their members to be comfortable with them. Um, what's it? Let's see. So I know Joseph talked about it a little bit, but who has been like your biggest influence in your FFA journey so far?
Um, I mean, definitely advisors, but I feel like that's everybody in the FFA. Like your advisors play such a large role just because they are the people that are kind of like leading you through the FFA world. So I mean, off my advisors, obviously, all. I mean, I have four now. All four have played major roles, but besides my advisors, um, I mean, past officers, like when I was a freshman and sophomore, one of our chapter officers, Eric Ramirez, who was also a regional officer, he played a real large role in like getting me in to FFA, and like I kind of looked up to him as something I would want to do in the FFA, and like somebody I wanted to be. So yeah, I think it a lot of time for me it was kind of those seniors or juniors that were high level officers when I came in.
I would say for me, of course, advisors pushing me to apply, pushing me to do better on the next contest, but definitely agreeing with Louis about that older senior or junior. For me, that was Kendall Price. She was seriously an inspiration to me. She really showed me all aspects of FFA, and I still look up to her. She's doing amazing. And then also for me in other aspects, I think it would be my parents because, I have my mom who helps me with speaking contests for practicing LDs and CDs. And then I have my dad who also helps me with my market animal projects, with my pigs, feeding, teaching me all those different little tricks and it's all these connections that like really help push you forward.
Yeah. I think for me, like obviously, yes, advisors, but truly, I feel like it's one advisor specifically. My freshman teacher, Mr. Zimmerman. I feel like freshman year, my mentality it like wasn't the best in sportsmanship, I guess, because going into opening closing, I was like so set on trying to make it to finals. My team, we didn't even make it to semifinals, so I was like that immediately shut me down. And I still haven't I at that point I hadn't like locked in like okay, even though it's like we didn't make it to finals, that doesn't like affect my capability of future events and future competitions. Going into Creed, I didn't know that they took I think it's 45 creators to regionals. I'm not fully sure, but they definitely take more than impromptu and stuff like that. So I didn't know that. So I was like so set on doing my best in Creed to make it to finals and make it to region. And when they announced that they were taking about 40 members to Creed to regional speaking, I thought I truly had a shot. And when they called everyone, almost everyone from my chapter except me and two other people, I believe, I was like so devastated. And there, I remember this so much. I remember like looking very sad. And Mr. Zimmerman looks at me and he walks over to me and he says, he basically tells me how just because you don't do like good in one competition, it doesn't affect your ability to succeed in another competition. And I feel like just from that moment, it's really showed me that just because you may not succeed in one area of the FFA or one area of life, it doesn't mean you're going to fail the entire organization, or you're going to fail in life. And that's actually led me in advanced English right now, where we were supposed to write a memoir, and I wrote a memoir about my journey through the FFA, going from freshman year to now, and I titled it Failure Success, and I talked about how like my failures through the FFA my freshman year have kind of like shaped me into the young leader I am today. And I used a quote of, failure will teach you more than success ever will. And I feel like that's like a true statement, because although those succeeding, like, yes, they're doing great, like, and they have all these opportunities through this succeeding, but they aren't going to go through the struggles and the mindset of failing and trying to get back and persevere than someone who actually did fail.
I definitely agree with that.
For members who don't fully understand like the role of sectional office or like higher above offices, what is it like? What does it look like to be a sectional officer? Like, what are kind of the duties?
Um, for me personally, it's a lot of driving. Since I live an hour away from Santa Maria, so I got to be going back and forth for events, conferences, even just meeting at somebody's house just to plan for the next one. You know, that's a lot of the background that people don't see about being a sectional officer and then even regional officer. And besides that, a lot of what being a sectional officer is just being a role model, being that special person that a younger member could look up to and rely on. And it's just that person who's capable of teaching as well as leading.
Yeah. I I don't live as far as Joseph, but about I live quite a ways from Santa Maria too, and it's like, yeah, there's that travel aspect, and for me, like it's a lot like chapter office, except you're just stepping it up. Like, there's an even harder communication factor because you're not. I see my fellow chapter officers every day. I can talk to them in the hallways. I can't necessarily do that with my sectional officers, especially since I'm the only sectional officer at my school.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just there's more communication, but it's also like when we have meetings or we go to somebody's house for planning, like it feels just a little bit more special for me because like we don't necessarily like I said, we don't see each other every day. Like it's it's a time where we get to kind of like take a step back from the chaos of the rest of our life and kind of meet up and plan for something bigger. And yeah, like Joseph said, like being able to learn and teach at the same time, like I would say one of the bigger differences between chapter office and sectional office especially is that like in chapter office you're working with like people who aren't necessarily like as deeply ingrained into the FFA as we are. People who are like they might do some competitions, they might like do this or that, but they're not necessarily like they don't want to, maybe a lot of them don't want to take that step into that officer role. But when you go to a sectional meeting, a lot of people are like people who are aspiring to be officers. These are people who are really trying to do something in the FFA. And so you not only have to be a role model for just like the basic student, but you have to be a role model for people who are aspiring to be role models. Like it's just that little bit step further, but it's far from impossible. It's something that I believe everybody should strive to do.
Yeah. Um, I I like how you like touched on like some a point of view that like some people don't get from like chapter office to section office. It kind of leads into my next question. It's like what's a part of the job that that most people don't realize like some section officers like have to do. I know like each section is different, but like for Santa Barbara section, what's like the part of the job that's really set apart from chapter?
Mm. You know, well, Santa Barbara section is a very large section.
Yeah.
We have so many FFA chapters in this section, and I mean, we just got a new one this year in St. Joe's. It's there's a lot of people, so like for me, it's kind of remembering all the names and because you're trying you're meeting all these people from different chapters, and then you're not only meeting these people but you're trying to introduce them to other people. So i I would say one of the things that I didn't realize coming into sectional office is well, I'm not going to just be dealing with my sectional team. I'm going to be dealing with chapters all over the county. I'm talking with officers from other chapters all the time. So yeah, I would say it's like the amount of communication you not only have with your sectional team but with just independent chapters.
Yeah. Same thing with what Louis said. It's just a lot of going back and forth in between everyone. You got to get everyone's input, and not just the sectional teams, but also even like chapter presidents. We have to like figure out everyone's schedule. That way it all works out. We have to think about the state competitions, just so that way what we want to do to collaborate with everyone else works out in the end.
So obviously, like being a part of like any leadership team, you're going to need to like work together, do some teamwork. But being part of the sectional officer team for the Santa Barbara section, how do you guys like? I know you guys said like sometimes you'll meet together to plan other events and like sectional level events, but um, what do you guys like? What does the meetings kind of look like? I guess in like the behind the scenes and the technical side of you guys working together to like kind of accomplish these.
We have our business part of it. We got to get through everything that we need to talk about, everything we need to plan on, and then we have our fun part of it. We'll do a social bonding activity. It'll be like just dance, or we'll go mini golfing at Boomers. It's something fun that we could do together while still working on what we need to get done. Is just the main aspect of each time we meet up. Um, a lot of it is just even coming together, food, talk, talk about our social life, talk about school, and then just working together on finishing upcoming events.
Yeah, Joseph nailed it there with the whole social aspect of it. The better you know each other, the better you'll be able to work together on things.
Do you guys have like any like favorite memories from this year's sectional officer team that you guys have made?
Oh,
There's a lot. I don't know. It's kind of hard to choose just one.
uh, well, we made a lot of great memories during SOLC sectional officer leadership conference. That was a blast. The night before
Awesome.
we watched a terrible movie called Velocipaster.
Oh
Um,
God.
that might be one of my favorites.
Yeah.
That or I don't know. There's so many to choose from. Yeah. Joseph, you got any?
Honestly, it's just all the little moments that you don't think are gonna be like huge memories, but it's all those little parts that are really the funnest times. Like, I remember one time we had s'mores at one of the other section officer leadership houses. Sorry, um, and then like I said, going to Boomers. We just mess around there while still having fun. Um, or even watching Velocipaster. Great movie, recommend it.
um, so obviously like applying for these opportunities as section officer, chapter office, regional officer, it definitely takes you out of your comfort zone. What's been like one challenge that you've faced or the team has faced through the sectional office?
Ooh.
Mm, honestly, it'd probably be just communication sometimes, depending on whatever we need to do. Sometimes we need to get everyone's opinion and then the group chat is just silent, or other times we need to all come together and three of us are all out of town. And so that would probably be the biggest one, I think. But for the most part, I think we did really good at all of that, and everyone was able to do their part, work together, work hard, and there might have been little complications like during um, opening and closing where we had to wait so long for results or something like that. But in the end, we all just like we showed up, we showed out, and we all worked hard and worked together.
Yeah. I do remember opening closing the results, but it was okay. Melee saved it with the dating game.
Yep, yep.
Yes, she
Yeah.
did.
Um. So obviously, many younger members, like obviously, like Louis said about you, the aspiring members to become bigger leaders and bigger organization members, like they look up to you guys. They look up to section officers, regional officers, even state officers. Um, how do you, being a section officer, how do you like encourage your chapter green hands or other chapter green hands or newer members to get involved in the FFA?
Well, I mean, I just preach it constantly. Whenever I have a chance, I'm like, "Oh, you should do this. Oh, you should do that." I think one of the most powerful things an officer can do is show how much fun it is. Like every time I go to an event, I try to have as much fun as possible because I remember being a freshman and the first pull I had to FFA, besides agriculture, was the fact that I look up there and oh my God, the officers are having so much fun. I want to have that much fun.
Mhm.
Just constantly being a source of just a good time. That's generally how I get people hooked.
Yeah, uh, definitely for me in my chapter, I, I was able to get my green hands, my freshmen involved by like first competition, opening and closing. They get to see me out there on the floor doing my part as the one organizing this event with my team. And, I think I get to be a source of inspiration to them and basically tell them, like, if I could do it, they can too.
Yeah. Um, what advice would you give like freshmen who are nervous about like trying something new in the FFA or like going to that like above and beyond level to achieve greater things?
There's a lot of it, you know, like we talked about already before, be yourself, make the most of it because I remember when I was a freshman, my first thing that I did at the sectional level uh, was big, and I just remember sitting in the corner, not really talking to anybody, but then I just see everyone else intermingling, everyone already knowing each other, the past sectional officers having fun with everyone, and that just pushed me to want more, and because of that, that's what really helped get me out of my bubble. Uh, yeah,
Yeah. Um, like just said, be yourself. If you're really nervous going into it, odds are it's probably something you should do. Uh, I just Like any advice I give to anybody who asks me, "Oh, how can I get more involved?" I just say raise your hand more. Like just don't like put yourself out there and don't be afraid to do so. The more you participate, the more you will learn. The
And
more you will fall in love with it.
actually, when you're that nervous about it, that just shows how much you actually really care about it deep down. Even if you don't realize it, that just shows how much you want it, how much you want to go for it, and how much you care.
Yeah. I feel like that nerve definitely is very true because I remember I applied for subcommittee chair this year, and I was like, one, I was nervous because I really wanted to get it, but two, it was like I was nervous about if my because on the form they ask you like what's a challenge in agriculture that California FFA can, or what's a challenge in California FFA that we can talk about as a subcommittee chair and as a committee, and I put agriculture education and like making new opportunities for the younger generations, and I felt like I was definitely really nervous because I didn't know if that was like unique enough to be selected or if that was even like a good topic, but talking to my advisors and actually like researching this and writing about it, it's like I found that it was definitely something I was passionate about, and it actually like made me see the passion and the interest I have for not only agriculture education but also making the new opportunities for the green hands and discovery members. And through that, I feel like it's definitely opened my eyes to see to now, because now I definitely see a potential major in my college career being agriculture education, and 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 although like being a green hand teacher, like a freshman teacher would be great, I feel like my calling is to be a discovery member teacher, because I personally I don't know if our region even has any discovery chapters, maybe one or two, but I just think California FFA needs to push out for discovery members and discovery chapters to be made, because I feel like something that California it would be great for California FFA to invest in our younger generation, because if we want them to be the future farmers of America and the future leaders of our nation, we need to start them off young, and we need to get them the knowledge that they need to know to not only succeed in life but also succeed as a great leader.
Absolutely.
Yep, I totally agree.
Um, how has serving on the Santa Barbara sectional officer team helped you grow as a leader?
Honestly, what hasn't it done? Um, this it's just a lot of people think of like being sectional, regional, state. A lot of people think that like, oh, it's the next step above chapter. Oh, it's the next step above region. Uh, and in a lot of cases, that isn't really the truth. It just shows your dedication and how much you really have love for this organization. And, being a sectional leader just shows that you're capable of so many things. And for me, becoming a sectional leader taught me um, how to really connect with other people more, because when you're a chapter officer, you kind of stick with your own, but then becoming a sectional leader, you really have to get intermingled with everyone else. You really get to understand everyone else, and you really become friends. And that's what I really love about it.
Yeah, just like meeting new people. You like, I feel like as a sectional officer, it is not only it well, not only is it my duty, but I think it's just reality that when I'm a sectional officer and I walk into one of my meetings, I'm friends with everybody in the room, whether I've met them or not. Like it's it's just it really has boosted my confidence when it comes to just standing in front. I mean, it's a much larger crowd than I was ever used to with my
Hmm.
chapter, and like standing up there and just doing the same thing I do in my chapter on a bigger stage. And it's just, it really, yeah, it really just helps my confidence when it comes to meeting people and working with and in front of people.
Yeah. Um, as you are you guys junior, senior?
I'm a junior.
And I am a senior.
Okay. As given how you guys are both upperclassmen, as you look ahead into your like future into your careers, um, if you guys plan on it, what role do you like hope to obtain in the agriculture world?
Well, um, my family on both my mom and dad's side are like third, fourth generation ranchers. And so I can say pretty, with quite a bit of conviction that I'm probably going to step into the ranching world, into beef specifically. Um, but I still got a lot to explore, and so I don't know exactly yet. But I'm definitely going into the ranching industry, I would have to say.
Same thing for me, I have my options open, but a lot of it points back to the core of ag education, being that first mentor that I had. And, if my advisor brought this organization to me, imagine what I could do to the same of other students. So, you know, while still keeping other ideas, a lot of it goes back to becoming an ag teacher.
Yeah, I feel like keeping my giving even though I'm a sophomore, I feel like um I yes I have to keep my options open because like anything can happen. But I feel like it's definitely my definitely safe option and something that I know I would be really passionate about is becoming an ag teacher. Because I feel like some people, when they say they want to be an ag teacher, it's like, do you want to be an ag teacher or and actually like shape the future generations, or do you just want to stay connected to the FFA? Because yes, the FFA is like it's a great organization, and it's I do personally want to stay connected to it, and that's a reason. But also, I feel like if you want to be an ag teacher, it should be because you're passionate about shaping the generation to come after us and really making new great leaders. And that's why I want to become like a discovery. I want to create a discovery chapter wherever it may be in California, um, because I feel like really starting the new generation into agriculture as young as they can be would be a great opportunity and would be a great investment for California FFA.
Definitely.
Um, okay, here let's get some fun questions. What's been your like outside of sectional officer? What's been like your highlight of your FFA journey?
There's so much to choose from. Um, I'll I'll give you my top three. I think I can come to a top three consensus here. Uh, well, earlier this year, um, San Ynez chapter, we have a vine printing team. We won the team won the state competition, and then I got first high over overall individual. So that was my victory moment. Like
Oh
I
yeah.
finally won.
Yeah,
But like when it comes to the FFA moments that I'm gonna like remember for the rest of my life, uh, it's sitting in on a state conference session for the first time and realizing that I'm one out of 7,000 people that's in here because they love this organization just as much as I do. Uh, another moment is being at SOLC and meeting the state officers and realizing that like they aren't these mythic beings that are like I could never reach their level. Oh my God, they're not even human.
Except Darren.
It
Except Darren.
Oh
except
my gosh, I
Darren is
love Darren so
superhuman.
much.
Oh, he is kind of superhuman. But just like realizing that like the reason FFA is so easy to fall in love with is that we're all this like we're not all the same people, but we're all similar and we all share this love for this organization in common, and it puts us all on the same level, whether you're a state officer or a green hand.
Mhm.
It's moments like those that were really special for me. But I'm excited to hear Joseph's.
Oh man. Okay. Um, my top three. I would say those really long nights and early mornings that, really torture the heck out of us. But then when you look back at it, it's a fun time all in the end. You're with your friends, you're with your advisors, and you're all cracking jokes, having fun. That would be my first one. Second one would be going to CULC and SOLC because those are really like the building blocks of becoming a better leader, and they teach you a lot of things that you probably can't really learn without, and they teach you a lot about yourself and your teammates as well, especially in those um, close moments with your team and really getting um, emotional with each other. That would be another one for me. And then, of course, I think my third one would probably be just state conference in general. It's it's you know it's a thing that a lot of people need to experience, and it's really a blessing that you get to go to that because you're in a room in a stadium with, like Louis said, 7,000 other people just like you, and it just shows the passion that you have for this organization, for agriculture, and it's just a cool experience all in general. In general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, my top three would definitely be freshman year state conference because not only is like the actual state conference a great experience. I remember I think it was the Saturday before the last session. We went to Roundtable and we had so much extra pizza, so my advisors decided to do who could eat the most pizza for $20. And I decided to do it,
Oh,
and I got second place.
Oh my!
Yeah, I got second place, so I didn't win, but my stomach was hurting so much. But that's not even the worst part. Me and my friends, we decided to go to this candy shop.
oh,
And, I'm like, okay, I'll get some candy, even though my stomach's already hurting. So I go get the candy. And
Ruh-roh.
okay, so I go get the candy, and I read the sign, and it's $8. It says 8.25, and I thought it was like 8.25 for the whole entire bag. It's not
Mm,
8.25 for the whole entire bag. It's 8.25 per half pound. So I fill
heck
that thing
no!
all the way up. I fill the bag all the way up, and I read the sign again. I see that it says 8.25 per half pound, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I do? And I was mad at myself because I not just because of the price, but because I filled it up with mainly M&Ms. And I'm
oh.
like, if I knew that, I could have like got me some variety. So, giving how like that was already gonna be expensive, I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, you know what? I might as well buy the world's hottest gummy bear. and I bought the gummy bear, and it ended up being like $48
Oh
for
my.
the whole entire thing. So I bought it, and I was like, I realized, wait, I'm out of money, and I still have to pay for lunch tomorrow. So my friend's
Oh,
like, if you eat the gummy bear, I'll pay for your lunch. So I do it, and it's right before the session starts.
Ah.
Oh, the whole entire session, my stomach was hurting so bad. Yeah, I would say that's definitely one experience. My second is like the car rides to field days, the long car rides, because especially because I always get shotgun. Like I fight for shotgun because I'm not getting stuck in the middle of anyone. Um, but I mainly get shotgun because it gives me an opportunity to talk with my advisors, and the conversations they are really interesting sometimes, but also they can be very educational, and I just think it's like such a great experience. And then I would say my third is definitely MFE because not only did I get to meet the state officers, but I got to grow closer with new people from other chapters, especially because usually we go to Monterey. But this year Monterey got booked out before a chapter could get it. So we had to go to the Visalia MFE. And I was a little scared at first, but I challenged myself to make new friends, go to my comfort zone, and I did. And the second session, I actually sat at a whole different table with no one from my chapter, and that actually pushed me to make new friends. And now I'm still in contact with those friends, and it's like going out of my comfort zone. It's leading me to these new opportunities.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that concludes the episode. Thank you guys for being on the podcast, and thank you guys for listening. Hope you guys have a wonderful day or night whenever you're listening to this episode. And I think that's all.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.